back. Iran votes tomorrow, and at stake is its re-engagement with the world. It's a direct fight between 68-year-old academic, cleric and incumbent President Rouhani and 56-year-old conservative cleric and Ayatollah's protege, Ebrahim Raisi. They've traded charges of graft and brutality on live television with a vehemence unheard of in the Islamic Republic's 40-year-old history. Here's a report.
Two years back, President Hassan Rouhani achieved a historic feat, pulling Iran out of global isolation. World powers ended sanctions after Tehran curbed its nuclear program. The same deal may be back to bite him as he seeks a second term on Friday. The lifting of sanctions has not reduced poverty. The deal failed to deliver the promised jobs and a turnaround in the economy. US President Donald Trump has threatened to scrap the deal and is visiting Iran's bitter rival Saudi Arabia this week. Rouhani's closest rival Raisi accuses him of showing too much faith in the West.
With all the problems that this nuclear agreement has, I emphasize, with all the problems that this agreement has, the problems of this agreement were pointed out by different media numerous times. However, because it is a national document agreement that is agreed on, naturally, this commitment should be officially recognized by us and other parties.
Rouhani is calling this election a choice between greater civil liberties and extremism, pushing the boundaries of rhetoric in Iran, accusing conservatives of abusing human rights and misusing religious authority.
Dear people of Iran, vote for freedom. I'm ready to lift the remaining sanctions if elected, as I lifted the nuclear sanctions. If we want a better economy, we should encourage free competition in the country. We should give opportunities to the private sector. We should not let groups with security and political backing to get involved in the economy.
While most polls show Rouhani in the lead, it's a close race. Raisi is favored by the powerful security establishment that advocates a self-sufficient economy rather than dependence on foreigners. He is also a close ally and protege of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei and billed as his potential successor. So where does this leave the nuclear deal? While all sides have promised to keep it, America's unilateral measures have kept investors away, and this election could redefine how Iran engages with the West. Bureau Report, WION.
Joining us for more on this is Professor Chandrasekhar. He's an Iranian affairs expert and with us from New Delhi. Good evening, Professor. No president has lost a re-election in Iran in almost 4 decades now. Do you think this time will be different?
Yeah, this is the 12th presidential election. And from the last one, the 11th one when President Rouhani took over, a change from past has definitely paved in from moderate views to the reformist one. Obviously, if you land in Bazar-e-Buzurg or the grand market in Tehran and ask any trader, you'll find a kind of a hope. Definitely after nuclear deal, the kind of the exaggerated hope has not met the same kind of the level which it was expected due to certain different international developments, especially the US president election also. But it is also true that in many sectors in Iran, especially like in tourism, number of tourists has increased. Many countries like even including India, Japan, China, South Korea, as even you remember, just after the deal was signed, the very next day France has announced to set up a automobile industry at the outskirts of Tehran. These are the signs which show that there is a indication of the development in the economic sector. Secondly, in the social sector also, after becoming president, President Rouhani has taken a liberal view towards especially the women's rights and has given some kind of the unwritten instructions also to be less stricter in certain things which were very strict in the past, especially for the women, in fact. Though the same level of the expectation in this area has not come up to the level of the people, but in urban areas, people still have a kind of a relief. Even if you visit various government offices or in the far off areas like in Gurgaon, you will find the people have the more social mobility and the movability,
Right.
and as well as in other areas also. It is also true that the second candidate, Mr. Raisi, who is the head of the most prominent religious center at Mashhad, banking on the votes of the very lower strata of the society,
Right.
who are more towards the religion and this sects also. So I hope still Rouhani has a better position than the others one, and especially because the traders has gone up to much level in the economic sector. So this economic reforms which has been set up by President Rouhani will definitely yield results for him.
We'll wait and see. The election is tomorrow. Thanks very much, Professor Chandrasekhar, for your insights into what is expected in Iran. And we will, of course, be tracking the story very, very closely tomorrow as well on Gravitas. We'll touch upon this. We're taking a break. Still ahead, Donald Trump, the Arab NATO, and a $350 billion arms deal.